I hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about the power of this one hormone. It's called the growth hormone. It's known as HGH, the human growth hormone. We hear a lot of people, bodybuilders and actors and sports people taking GH injections to improve their performance and their muscle and all of that stuff. Well, today I'm talking about this hormone that has fantastic benefits for all of us. In fact, if you have low levels of growth hormones that's produced by your pituitary gland, you have a lot of problems. Number one, you have fat gain. You find it difficult to lose body fat or burn body fat. Number two, you have problems with repair and growth. You take time to recover from injuries, or with less HGH, you can also get injured way faster. You have a problem building muscle. So then you start overdosing on protein shakes and stuff like that. But what you really need is the growth hormone. A hormone communicates. You can have all the protein shakes in the world, but if you have the wrong communication, your body wastes most of the protein shakes and a lot of it gets converted into body fat. That's why you hear people saying, oh, Luke, I have like so much of protein, but I'm still not losing weight. I'm still not putting on muscle, because you're only looking at the top. You're not going below surface level where you need a hormone for all communication to happen. And that's why in the medical world, while you treat symptoms, it is also necessary today to treat the root cause, to address the root cause of the problem if you want complete recovery. So growth hormones, today everyone says, oh, we're scared of cancer, we're scared of diseases. Yes, absolutely. But if you don't have the right amount of growth hormones, and right now you have a cell in your body that's mutating, you and I both have cancer cells in us. The difference between us having cancer and someone else having, cancer, us not having cancer and someone having cancer, is the immune system. My cancer cell at some point will kill itself before it can mutate and cause a cancer. Okay? But if I have a low immune system, or I lack the ability for my cells to repair themselves, my cells start to die. My cells start to get corrupted. My cells start to get weak. That's because I lack HGH, which is human growth hormone. And that's why for every patient who's sick, whether it's a surgery you've gone through, a chemotherapy, a radiation, whatever it is, including diabetes, including cardiovascular problems, if you want to recover better, you need to have growth hormones for your recovery, because your growth hormones help you, number one, to build muscle, protect your bones, your skin, your hair, cell repair, growth in a child. A child produces growth hormones so that it can move from a small kid to a teenager to a young adult. That growth happens with growth hormones, which are naturally produced. So today we're going to understand how we can boost our HGH. Now, how do you know if you have low HGH? You'll know at the end of this video. Because if your lifestyle is poor, you will have low HGH. Now, you may think the shortcut is, let me go and take some GH injections or do a GH cycle. But let me tell you, while you do that, but you don't change your lifestyle, how much of GH are you going to pump yourself with? How many injections are you going to take at some point? After a while, nothing's going to work. You have to address the root cause of the problem. Eat in a way that supports your GH mechanism. Sleep in a way. All of that. So let's get straight into it. Right now, if you are looking at building muscle, preserving muscle, burning excess body fat that's causing you problems, causing you diabetes, causing you to be sick, or you just don't like it, HGH plays a huge role. The first thing that we look at is sleep. Yep, that's why you have a lot of people who struggle in the gyms, they go on fad diets, and yet they never make progress because they're sleep deprived. You produce your most HGH while you sleep. That's how it is. Pump yourself with as much of GH as you want. But if you ain't sleeping the right way, that's going to be a temporary cycle that you do. When you sleep, you produce the most amount of HGH. That's why infants and small babies, they sleep 18 hours, then 16 hours, then 15 hours, because it isn't sleep that they produce HGH that helps them to grow from a small little baby into a little bigger kid. So your sleep is magic for you for everything, from muscle to fat burn, to your brain, to your skin, to your hair, to HGH. The second thing that we want to do is, if you have excess body fat, try to lose it. If you're carrying too much of body fat, your HGH levels are going to be low. And because you have low HGH, you have all of the problems that we just spoke about. So it is so important for you that while you're training, while you're eating, you are also making sure that you are burning body fat, which is excessive. You are losing fat. I'm not saying you got to become skinny thin, but I'm saying if you have excessive fat and you're constantly putting on excessive fat, could be your diet, could be your sleep, could be your exercise, could be your stress levels, and predominantly, which most people suffer from, a hormonal imbalance. The more fat you lose that your body doesn't require, the higher your HGH levels. The third, my favorite, fasting. When you intermittent fast, you produce HGH. When you're continuously eating, you reduce HGH. So even keeping, whether it's a 14-hour fast, a 15-hour fast, a 16-hour fast, whether you do it every day or you do it once a week, try to build in the mechanism of fasting. Fasting is one of the most effective ways, along with sleep, to boost your HGH. And that's the intelligence that you already have built in your body. You don't need complication. You sleep right, HGH. You don't eat all the time, HGH as well. So fasting is super powerful for that as well. You want to eat foods that are rich in arginine. It's called L-arginine. You can get it in tablet form, powder form, but you can also get it in food. So if you're non-vegetarian and you're eating fish and chicken, great. If you're vegetarian, you'll find them in nuts, seeds, whole grains, and your cruciferous vegetables. Another important supplement that people use is GABA. But again, you don't need the supplement. If you eat foods which are rich in GABA, you can actually produce very high amounts of HGH. So a lot of athletes who are on GH cycles, or bodybuilders or actors or actresses who need to be on a GH cycle because of their livelihood, they take a GABA supplement right before bedtime, and you can push up your HGH levels beautifully. But you don't need to do that because you're producing it naturally. But what are the foods rich in GABA? Again, your cruciferous vegetables. Fantastic source. Your nuts and seeds, especially pistachios, fantastic source. And if you're non-vegetarian, chicken, eggs, and fish again. So you don't need a supplement. Reduce your sugar intake. The more white sugar, the more carbs, the more simple crappy carbs that you have, the lower your HGH. You cut down on your sugar and your carbs, your HGH goes up automatically. The next point, if you are eating right before bedtime, low HGH. I'll tell you why. You produce most of your HGH when you fall asleep. Like we said, that's why sleep's great for it. But now you've eaten a meal and you've jumped into bed. Your insulin spikes all up, no matter how healthy your meal was. And you reduce the amount of HGH that your brain, that your pituitary gland can produce. So try to finish your meals at least 2 to 3 hours before your food. And that's why the circadian rhythm works so beautifully. The sun sets, stop eating. You'll sleep better, and because you sleep better, you'll produce more HGH. It's as simple as that. The laws of nature, the intelligence of nature. Exercise. Lift weights. If you can't lift weights or you don't want to lift weights, lift your own body weight. Push-ups, squats, planks, pull-ups, your own body weight. High interval training. If it suits you, you don't have injuries, and it suits you, even 4 minutes of high interval training in a system called Tabata is fabulous for you, for your HGH. You have 10 minutes, do 10 minutes of high interval training. You can do high knees, you can do jumping jacks, imaginary skipping, push-ups, jump squats, but it should be high interval. Download a Tabata timer on your phone, T-A-B-A-T-A, it's a timer. You rest 10 seconds, go out 20 seconds. Rest 10 seconds, go all out 20 seconds. 4 minutes, 1 cycle. 4 minutes too easy for you, do 2 cycles. But high interval training, done with rest and recovery. So you don't do it every day. I do high interval today, tomorrow I have recovery. Will also boost your HGH levels very, very, very well. And finally, melatonin. I'm a fan of melatonin. I sleep like a baby. I'm blessed and I'm grateful I sleep like a baby. But once a week, I take melatonin. I take 3 mg of melatonin, not because I need to sleep, because of the magic it does with HGH, your immune system, inflammation, and everything else. But you always want to do it in a guided way. So melatonin is also absolutely fabulous for you. So what does it come down to? Lifestyle. Simple lifestyle. Feasting and fasting. We were meant to do that. Eat a great meal, but don't eat your snacks. Don't eat if you're not hungry. The point is people eat when they're not hungry. So we mess up our digestive system, our metabolic power, our HGH levels, and everything else. So if you want to make that change, it comes down to you having the right hormone, because hormones communicate. Your hormones behave right, you have the right communication. Your hormones behave the wrong way, you have the wrong communication, and then you wonder why you have a cyst or a fibroid or a pimple or why your hair's falling. It's what's being communicated in your body. It's as simple as that. So these are simple ways to boost your HGH levels. You can start right now. You don't have to spend a single rupee or a dollar or whatever your currency is on a supplement. Unless, of course, you're an athlete, you need it, you're a recovering patient, you need the assistance of a supplement, but everything else. Our chemotherapy patients, we have two groups. Group one that makes lifestyle changes and they recover beautifully from their chemotherapy. They have energy levels. Group two that does nothing. They're just dependent on the conventional treatment and they're low on energy, they're puking, they're passing motions, they have no energy, can't get out of bed. Why? Because they're not looking at the side effects of chemo. They're not understanding HGH is depleted and I need to make lifestyle changes and eat the right way so that I can help my medicine work better and feel better parallelly without collateral damage to my cells. So that's it. It's up to you right now. The more you move, the more HGH you have. The more sedentary you are, the lesser you have. Now you can strip away all the complication. People are downloading fancy apps thinking that apps can change their health. Apps can change their mind and all of that stuff. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It is so important for you to understand these are your fundamentals. You put the fundamentals in place and your body works for you. The fundamentals are out of place, your body works against you. Have a great week, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.